I think it's gonna be super cute. First half of the book, I was like, okay, yeah, $6. Heck yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Bonnie and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be going through a whole bunch of books I got my hands on towards the end of December, and then the rest of January. The December ones I ended up getting because of sales, particularly with Barnes & Noble doing 50% off their hardcovers. So that kind of took place after I had filmed my December book haul. So you'll be seeing some of those in this one. I'm excited to haul them and hopefully get to them soon. First book I have to share today is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is, I believe, Emily Henry's second romance novel, or it's her second book that I'm aware of anyway. But this is a romance that is friends to lovers. It is the story of our main two characters having like a history of always going on vacations together, and then for whatever reason there's some kind of fallout, but down the line our main girl decides to reconnect with our main guy for one final epic vacation, and I guess things get spicy from there. Things build up, romance ensues. I'm hesitant about it because I did not love Beach Read as much as everyone else did. I just felt like it was a little too repetitive, and I really wished we had gotten the guy's perspective of things, or at least more than what we did get snippets of him. Honestly, I can't even remember if it was dual perspective or not, but I'm hoping this one kind of takes up the slack that I felt Beach Read left. And yeah, so this one I will be getting to very soon, since I'm hoping to read a bunch of romance in February. But yeah, hesitant but intrigued. The next one kind of continues on that same route, and that is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, another romance book that I picked up because I'm in the mood to read a bunch of romance in February. But this one I am super excited for. This one has been taken booktube by storm, and I'm especially excited about it because our main character is said to be inspired by Alexis from Schitt's Creek, who is like this kind of like goofy socialite girl, but like, so like she gets on people's nerves at first, but then you realize, oh, she's more than just her looks. She has brains, she's got personality, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what this character is like, what's similar with Alexis, what's different. And then I know our love interest is supposed to be a rugged fisherman, and they don't get along at first, but apparently he eventually likes to spoil her, and I think it's gonna be super cute. And once again, I'm excited to see what the hype is about. The next two books I have are by the same author, and that is Mexican Gothic and Jades of God and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno-Garcia. So Mexican Gothic I have already read. I listened to the audiobook of this a few summers ago, I want to say, and super enjoyed it. It's this like eerie gothic story. There's a creepy house, suspicious things are going on. Our main character receives like this letter or message from her cousin asking her to come to her house with her like newly married husband and family. and I forget if she says why she needs help, but she gets our main character to come, and then our main girl starts seeing some weird, suspicious things happening. This book is both eerie and like really rich in atmosphere, and yeah, I just remember it being really weird, but I was super intrigued, super sucked in, and yeah, so I really enjoyed it and I wanted my own copy, especially with me giving the beautiful ones 5 out of 5 stars. This is a 4-star read for me, but it makes me think I'm gonna like super love Silvia Moreno-Garcia's work. So I was like, okay, we're starting a collection, y'all. We're starting a collection. So had to pick up the other one that I had read. Also, this is like crazily floppy, so I had to pick up this one. And then I wanted to pick up Gods of Jade and Shadow just to slowly but surely start on reading all of her backlist titles. I know this one was pretty popular a few years back, but haven't heard too much recently. Honestly, I don't even know what this is about, so let me read the back. A young woman and a Mayan death god embark on a life-changing journey in this one-of-a-kind fairy tale inspired by Mexican folklore. The Jazz Age is a time of daring dances and fast music, but not for Cassiopeia Tun. She is stuck in her dusty small town, performing menial chores until the day when she opens a curious wooden box and accidentally frees an imprisoned deity. In the company of the strangely alluring god and armed only with her wits, Cassiopeia begins an adventure replete with malicious ghosts, shape-changing sorcerers, and powerful magic. A cross-country odyssey will take her from the jungles of Yucatan to the bright lights of Mexico City and deepen in the darkness of the Mayan underworld. There are so many things going on in that synopsis. Like, I'm bound to like vibe with at least one of those aspects that are supposed to be included in this. But kind of as I was talking about with Mexican Gothic, I feel like Silvia Moreno-Garcia does really great on settings and atmosphere to really suck you into the situation, the plot, the moment. So I'm really excited to get to this one and see how it goes. Like, maybe Silvia Moreno-Garcia is like one of my new favorite authors. We shall see. I mean, she's in a good position right now with me having a 4-star and a 5-star from her, but we shall see. The next ones I'll also share chunked together, and these are some of the books that I did pick up with that Barnes & Noble 50% off hardcovers sale, and that is Soul Eater Volume 2, Soul Eater Volume 3, and Soul Eater Volume 4. These are all the perfect edition mangas that are in a super nice glossy hardcover format with really nice like neon spines that I really like how they all look together, especially on my shelf. But yeah, when I was seeing these in stock at Barnes & Noble 50% off, and I already enjoyed Volume 1 so much that I received for Christmas, I had to snatch these up. Especially with them usually being 20 bucks a piece. Like, you're coming home with me. Those Soul Eater mangas covered the remainder of the first arc of the anime, which both the anime and the manga are really conveying the same story. I haven't seen really any discrepancies on the storyline. It is set in this world where there are Meisters who can wield weapons and their souls to fight off baddies, and then there are weapons who are people that can physically turn into those weapons. So the Meisters and the weapons team up and fight off evil entities of the world, and then just like crazy baddies are popping up and everything, so things get crazy in it. It does have like Halloween-y vibes as well that I super love, and yeah, it's just a fun time, you know? Next two I have is Prince's Gambit and King's Rising by C.S. Pacat. This is book 2 and 3 in the Captive Prince trilogy, which is a kind of like political fantasy world, I would say, with warring kingdoms. In the first book, the crowned prince Damon is kind of overthrown and smuggled into slavery into their enemy kingdom of Ware, where he becomes the pleasure slave of Prince Laurent. And book 1 is extremely heavy on showing the badness of Ware, the mistreatment of slaves. There is sexual assault, there is whipping, branding, flogging, references to pedophilia, just a whole lot of awful shit happens in book 1. But it did leave off in a place where I was interested to see how future dynamics would play out in politics and that kind of stuff, because the series is marked as a romance. So eventually there is a relationship that develops between Damon and Prince Laurent. So it is the enemies to lovers moment, but very complicated with politics, and like Damon feels like he has to hide his identity, and I don't know. It's intriguing, but also like hard to read at times. But I felt like I needed to know what happens, and I do think it does improve with each book. You know, it helps when there is like lighter, softer moments amongst all of the crazy shit that happens in book 1. The next one I found at my local secondhand bookstore, which was quite a steal, and that is Wild Beauty by Marie-McClemore. This is especially like a top tier find because, first off, I got this for like $6. It's a hardcover in great condition. 2, this is apparently from an old Owlcrate box, so like they even included the author letter. And then the cherry on top, it has a signed book plate inside. I was like, $6 for all this goodness? Like, heck yeah. I believe this is fantastical in some sort of way. What I primarily know is that there's like this family of women who, they're either cursed or they're fated, or there's just like a pattern of when they fall in love, their lovers for whatever reason just disappear entirely. So like they have this history of that continuing to happen to all of the women in their family, and then one day this boy randomly appears, and that leads the women of this family to think, oh, maybe this curse fate is broken, this pattern is like altered, and perhaps their lovers will return to them. That's all I know. I know Marie-McClemore is known for having really lovely writing, so I'm intrigued to see what this is like. I have read Blanca and Roja from Marie-McClemore, which I did enjoy, but I wasn't swept away by, so I'm hoping maybe this one will suck me in a little bit more and be intriguing. But yeah, $6, heck yeah. And then speaking of Owlcrate, I also have to share the Owlcrate book that I got for think it was their January box. It's hard to say because their boxes were sent out of order because of shipping delays for certain items. But in, I'll just say, my latest Owlcrate box, I received the Ivory key by Akshaya Raymond. From what I can remember from the Owlcrate spoiler card and when I read the flap of this for my unboxing, it's an Indian-inspired fantasy about this kingdom that's kind of losing its magic for whatever reason. So one of our main characters has to team up with her other siblings to locate the, I can't recall if it's one key or multiple keys. I'm gonna say one key since it's the Ivory key is one key, but they have to locate this key to return the magic to their kingdom, but everyone kind of has their own different motivation, and yeah, I'm just really intrigued by what that means. Like, how crazy are these sibling dynamics gonna get? I have no clue, but I'm really intrigued, and I don't know, I think it'll be really interesting dealing with so many siblings in this situation. I feel like a lot of times when you're reading stories about siblings, it's just like two. There's just two. Well, I think this is like 4 other characters, I believe, so I'm intrigued to see what this is like. I haven't heard of anyone reading this one, so if you know anything about it or if you've heard good things, anything like that, I'd love to know. But me personally, I think it'll be a good time. The next one I have is A Curse of Roses by Diana Pinguicha. This one I also barely know anything about. I found this on Amazon for like $9. Again, it's a hardcover and it's supposed to be sapphic. $9 for a sapphic book? I was like, okay. Let me read the flap for you because I really could not explain it because I don't know. But I remember it sounding good when I saw it on the site. With just one touch, bread turns into roses. With just one bite, cheese turns into lilies. There's a famine plaguing the land, and Princess Isabel is wasting food simply by trying to eat. Before she can even swallow her magic, her curse has turned her meal into a bouquet. She's on the verge of starving, which only reminds her that the people of Portugal have been enduring the same pain. If only it would be possible to reverse her magic, then she could turn flowers into food. Fatian, a beautiful, enchanted Mora, is the only one who can help, but she is trapped by magical binds. She can teach Isabel how to control her curse if Isabel sets her free with a kiss. As the King of Portugal's betrothed, Isabel would be committing treason, but what good is a king if his country has starved to death? With just one kiss, Fatian is set free, and with just one kiss, Isabel is yearning for more. She sought out Fatian to help her save the people. Now loving her could mean Isabel's destruction. I think it'll be a sapphic good time, potentially emotional, so always looking for more LGBT reads, so I was intrigued by this one. Also, I think it's really cool how the flowers are like composed on this with also the girl's face, and then to like juxtapose this like deep black with this vibrant blue underneath that matches some of the flowers on it. I think it's really pretty, and I'm hoping the story is great. The next 2 I have to share are yet another grouping of books by the same author, and that is In a Dark, Dark Wood and The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. So I am now able to say I own all of the Ruth Ware books that are currently out, and I'm really excited to get to these two, to also say that I've read everything Ruth Ware has published thus far. These are the last two I have to read until I can say that, which I find it funny that these are literally the first two in publication order that she has written. So I'm like going back through time to experience Ruth Ware's works. So I mean, I don't have the highest of expectations because, you know, authors literally grow in their writing with each book. So being that One by One is my favorite of hers thus far, and that being her newest work until It Girl comes out this year, I'm not expecting to love these, but I am intrigued nonetheless. And I feel like Ruth Ware does have a really great skill of pulling readers into her stories, even if everyone isn't necessarily satisfied with how the twists and turns go. I literally don't know anything about their stories, so once again I will be reading the flap. But yeah, so I will read the flap of In a Dark Dark Wood first. Sometimes the only thing to fear is yourself. What should be a cozy and fun-filled weekend deep in the English countryside takes a sinister turn in Ruth Ware's suspenseful, compulsive, and darkly twisted debut psychological thriller. Lenora, known to some as Lee, to others as Nora, is a reclusive writer unwilling to leave her nest of an apartment unless it is absolutely necessary. But when a friend she hasn't spoken to in years unexpectedly invites her to a weekend away in an eerie glass house, she reluctantly agrees to make the trip. But as the first night falls, revelations unfold among friends old and new, and an unnerving memory shatters Nora's reserve. But before she makes the decision to leave, a haunting realization creeps in. The party is not alone in the woods. And I will stop there. There is like 2 paragraphs after that, but I'm stopping there. That sounds great. I think it'll be creepy. You know, the idea of being in a glass house and the darkness, you can't see but they can see you when you have the lights on. I'm here for it. Now we have Woman in Cabin 10, which I never knew that the hardcover actually has like fake water droplets on it for the rain on the window, which I think is super cool. But yeah, so I'll read this one as well. In this tightly wound, enthralling story reminiscent of Agatha Christie's work, Lo Blacklock, a journalist who writes for a travel magazine, has just been given the assignment of a lifetime: a week on a luxury cruise with only a handful of cabins. The sky is clear, the water's calm, and the veneered select guests jovial as the reclusive cruise ship the Aurora begins her voyage in the picturesque North Sea. At first, Lo's stay is nothing but pleasant. The cabins are plush, the dinner parties are sparkling, and the guests are elegant. But as the week wears on, frigid winds whip the deck, gray skies fall, and Lo hears what she can only describe as a dark and terrifying nightmare: a woman being thrown overboard. The problem? All passengers and crew members remain accounted for, and so the ship sails on as if nothing has happened, despite Lo's desperate attempt to convey that something or someone has gone terribly, terribly wrong. Again, stopping there, but that sounds intriguing. I think any kind of like cruise ship shenanigans would be pretty freaky to experience. Yeah, it does make me think of Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile, since it also takes place on like a cruise ship situation. So, you know, it's got that isolated feeling because you're trapped in a body of water with all these people. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see what shenanigans happen in this one as well. And then the final book I have to share today is The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharpe. This is another one that I haven't really seen or heard of getting picked up elsewhere. I found this, I think I also found this on Amazon when I was trying to find books that are heist related because I love heists so stinking much. So I was kind of looking for that kind of vibe of things, or con artistry, that kind of story, and I found this one. To understand my story, you first have to know about the girls I've been, and that starts with my delightful con artist mother, because I didn't choose a life of deception, I was born into it. 5 years ago, I escaped to Mclemore, who has a nice, normal life in a nice, normal neighborhood. Until this morning, when I found myself at gunpoint in the middle of a bank heist with my ex-boyfriend and my new girlfriend. Talk about awkward. The first thing I thought about was get down. The second thing, we're all gonna die because I stopped to buy donuts on the way to the bank. And the third thing, I'm the only one who can get us out of here alive. Because the gunmen have no idea who I really am, that girl has been in hiding for far too long. I think this is gonna be really fun. This is like a YA thriller, so you might have gotten that vibe literally just from that description. But yeah, so LGBT heist con artistry, I was like, okay, this sounds like fun, I'll give it a shot. And then I also found out with it posting on the back there that this is being made into a film with Millie Bobby Brown, which obviously I didn't know about, so that's exciting that I can pick this one up and hopefully have a good heist time, and then potentially have a heist movie to watch as well whenever that one comes out. Although I don't know how much of the heist we'll be seeing, being that they're like the victims of it, the hostages of the heist. So I don't know if this will fit what I'm looking for, but I'm hoping it'll be a fun time regardless. Yeah, so that'll about do it for all of the books that I got my hands on at the end of December into January. Once again, this is like tail end of Christmas money gifts or sales or anything like that, but I am very excited to get to these. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I would love to know in the comments what book you think I should prioritize, or what books you got your hands on in January. I would love to know. Also, in the description down below, you can find the links for my Goodreads and my Bookstagram account if you'd like to follow me over there. So other than that, that'll be all, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.